Did you write the jokes yourself?
No, I probably improvised quite a bit, but Peter Farrelly directed it, and he gave me a lot of great direction. And it wasn't easy playing someone who's not funny, sort of like goofy jokes. My jokes cut a little deeper in real life, so it was kind of fun playing basically a rabbi that I feel like I may have met in childhood or something.
I mean, there were some jokes that were borderline inappropriate, but fantastic. But it also was kind of like crazy family fare at the same time as you're watching this. So, I mean, I loved watching it because it's so you.
Yeah. Well, this is a wholesome scene that you can show here, everywhere. But the movie is an R-rated, like, comedy. And you don't see a lot of those. So when I got that offer, it worked out perfectly. You know, I don't want to say what happens, but my character kind of goes wild later in the movie.
Yeah, with maybe perhaps a little help from some friends. Back here on the Rich Eisen Show, Susie Schuster here with the great Jeffrey Ross, the Roastmaster General. So thrilled to have him here promoting his new movie. I'm sitting at the Rich Eisen Show desk, furnished by Grainger, with supplies and solutions for every industry. Grainger's got the right product for you. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by and spend some time with us. And some of the jokes, you alluded to something wild happening in the movie, and didn't see that coming, by the way.
I get roofied.
Well,
I
there
don't
you
want
go.
to give it all away, but I get roofied. You don't see a lot of rabbis get roofied in a mainstream movie.
Also, the last time I checked, you don't want your rabbi roofied when they're around some manhood issues.
I'm about to perform a circumcision, and I accidentally get roofied in the movie, and it goes off the rails from there. And man, we laughed a lot on set. We had a real baby there. We had a... So for me, it was a real thrill because I love Pete Farrelly and Jermaine Fowler, Andrew Santino, William H. Macy, John Cena, and Zac Efron. So I was just having so much fun just being around it all. And I think my scene, it's an 18-minute scene. It's one of the more wild parts of the movie. I can't wait to, like, you know, roll one up and watch this one with my friends.
Jeffrey Ross here on the Rich Eisen Show. Susie Schuster in for Rich Eisen.
Susie.
Hi, Jeffrey.
You look like Julia Roberts. Ooh,
I do?
Very movie star today.
You're making my day.
Yeah.
I mean, you usually see me like with sweatpants on and a ponytail.
Feeding the dog, but this is good.
I know. We have to have Nipsey over very soon, please.
Yeah, she asked about you.
What'd she say?
She said, "How's that lady Susie with all the treats and those two crazy dogs?"
Yes, so she knows me. She knows me very, very well. Hey, what's more fun for you? Does it feel that much different doing something where you've got scripting and you're following the rules versus when you go out on a stage and anything is impossible or anything's possible in front of you?
That's a good question. I think I like being able to jump around and do both. Like stand up, being on stage, obviously it's my first love. It's my hobby that turned into my life's mission. But every now and then you get a call going, there's a really funny part. They wrote it just for you or they want you to do it. And I'll do it. And not that often, but when I do it, it's really fun because I don't have to worry about writing it and creating it. I can just kind of show up and be funny. And, when Peter Farrelly, it was interesting, Susie, because I was about to leave for Australia, New Zealand for a month on tour with Dave Chappelle. And when Peter Farrelly texted me, I was looking at the routing in Australia and New Zealand, and I'm reading Pete's text. And it was a long text, and my heart kind of sank because I was like, here I am getting a movie offer from Peter Farrelly to work with John Cena and Zac Efron, and I'm probably not going to be able to do it because then I look a little closer at the offer, and it says Melbourne on these dates. And then I look back at the routing for Chappelle's tour, and it's in Melbourne. I'll be in Melbourne on those days. And it was like a 1 in a billion. I thought I was getting pranked. And it wound up working out perfectly where the whole cast and crew came to see me perform in Australia. And then a day later, here I am on set dressed as a rabbi.
I mean, that has to be karma because anybody wants to work with Peter, right? He's one of the all-time great directors and the funniest. The cast is incredible. And yet you're just casually going to Sydney with Dave Chappelle, arguably, one of the most impactful speakers and orators and teachers of our time. I mean, that's crazy good karma for you, Jeffrey.
I got to do it all. And, sometimes sometimes show business can be really hard, but sometimes it just works out.
What was the surprise in this movie that you had the most fun doing, that maybe a person, or who was it that surprised you?
Oh, you know what? John Cena steals a lot of the scenes that he's in. And I hadn't met him. I'd met him briefly around wrestling, just as a fan, but I hadn't known him as an actor. And he was so prepared. And then beyond that, took the material to another level of just hilarity. He plays a crazy, he's dressed like Britney Spears in this movie. He's running around singing Boy George songs in his underwear. He plays this crazy alcoholic trying to straighten his life up. And there's just joke after joke. I think about JPMs when I watch something like this, the jokes per minute, and they're just coming. But then, we had some long days, and I got to just sit and eat lunch with William H. Macy, who ends up being like the coolest laid-back dude ever, like a real artist. And, of course, I got to be friends with Zac Efron, who I'm in love with.
And I think that you may have broken the internet when you were posting a selfie of you and him, and people are like, what the hell's going on here?
He has no shirt on, holding my dog on my Instagram. Zach's a sweetheart. He's, he's this beautiful specimen of human being, but on the inside, he's just this little menschy kind of nerdy kid who just wants to be loved, and he's always caring about his friends, and we've since gone on vacation together a couple times, and he's a wonderful guy. The one fun thing about acting that you don't get in stand-up is stand-up, you're kind of out there with maybe one other person or by yourself. But when you're on set, suddenly you're surrounded by all these funny people. And chances are you're one of the funnier people because, actors.
Actors. Ricky Stanicky, available for streaming on Prime Video next week on March 7th.
Catch The Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.